on points in today's edition. War of words between Jagdeep Dhankhar and Mallikarjun Kharge in Rajya Sabha over no trust motion.
He is not respecting me.
Actor Mohan Babu issues apology after brutally assaulting TV9 reporter Ranjit. Apology accepted, but justice must prevail. High Court grants interim bail to Pushpa 2 superstar Allu Arjun in the Stampede case. And Priyanka Gandhi, in a maiden speech in Lok Sabha, says Constitution is our Suraksha Kavach and accuses Bharatiya Janata Party of trying to alter it. But before that, headlines. Allu Arjun gets interim bail from High Court. Kannada actor and others granted bail in Renuka Swamy murder case. Prime Minister Modi launches major development projects in Prayagraj ahead of Mahakumbh. India wants good ties with Pakistan, but terrorism must end first, says Jaishankar in Lok Sabha. Rajnath Singh says Congress tried to destroy the basic principles of the Constitution. Rahul Gandhi says Priyanka's speech better than his maiden speech. Constitution is our armor, says Akhilesh Yadav during Lok Sabha debate on the Constitution. Former Ajika principal Sandeep Ghosh gets bail in Kolkata doctor rape murder case. And Mohan Babu apologizes for assault. Apology accepted, but law must take its own course. A heated exchange between Chairman Jagdeep Dhankhar and Leader of Opposition Mallikarjun Kharge over the no confidence motion brought Rajya Sabha into a standstill. The uproar centered on the opposition's motion against Dhankhar reached a breaking point, forcing the House to adjourn for the day. After the adjournment, Jagdeep Dhankhar later asked Kharge to meet him privately to resolve the matter. Now, let us take a look at what Dhankhar said and how Kharge responded. So first I'll begin with what Dhankhar said. The Vice President, the Chairman: I am a farmer's son. I will not show weakness. 2. I will sacrifice my life for the country. 3. Opposition is preoccupied with questioning why a farmer's son is Chairman of Rajya Sabha. 4th, I have tolerated a lot, says Jagdeep Dhankhar. 5th, day in and day out, there is a complaint against the chairman. 6th, opposition has the right to bring the motion, but they are insulting the Constitution. 7th, the Constitution is very clear. I will stand by my oath. Now, what Kharge said: I am a laborer's son. 2nd, I have faced more challenges than you. 3rd, Chair encourages Bharatiya Janata Party members to speak against the opposition. 4th, Chair is insulting our party leaders, insulting the Congress party. 5th, I have not come to Parliament to listen to your praise. 6th, we have come here for our discussion. Heated words, heated conversation. Let me play out the first chunk.
आप लोग चिंतन नहीं करेंगे, 24 घंटे एक ही काम है कि किसान का बेटा यहाँ क्यों बैठा है। मैं आंखों से देख रहा हूँ, पीड़ा महसूस कर रहा हूँ। मेहरबानी कर दिल टटोलिए, मेहरबानी कर कुछ सोचिए। मैंने इज्जत देने में कोई कमी नहीं रखी है। And look at the gesturing, look at what you are saying. मैंने बहुत बर्दाश्त किया है। आज का किसान खेत तक सीमित नहीं है, आज का किसान हर जगह कार्यरत है, सरकारी नौकरी में है, उद्योग में है। आप प्रस्ताव लाए, आपका अधिकार है, प्रस्ताव पर चर्चा हो आपका अधिकार है, पर आपने क्या किया? संविधान की ध्वजियां उड़ा दी। किसने रोका आपके प्रस्ताव को? आपके यहां से बयान जारी होता है कि हमारे प्रस्ताव पर क्या हुआ। अरे कानून पढ़िए, आपका प्रस्ताव आ गया, 14 दिन बाद आएगा। लेकिन मैं कहता हूं, मान्यवर, मुझ पर कृपा कीजिए, जो समय आपको ठीक लगे मेरे से मिलने का समय निकालिए। मेरे पास नहीं आ सकते तो मैं आऊंगा। देखिए, आप अपने हिसाब से, आपका तो एक क्रम हो गया है कि मेरे को चिट्ठी बजाना है।
The bottom line is, can this issue be resolved? I'm joined by Mukesh Tyagi, national spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party. I'm also joined by the spokesperson of Congress, Anuma Acharya. And I'm joined by Ajit Jha, senior journalist. Ajit, let me begin with you. Let's fix this debate. Can this issue be resolved, or has the Rajya Sabha session gone down the drain this time?
You see, what happened is that what the debate was about, about the bias by the chairman, about the fact that a no confidence motion against the chairman, this turned into what we would call a personal, battle between the chairman of the Rajya Sabha and the leader of the Congress party, bringing in personal issues, making it emotional. And therefore, the drama, in a way, became very interesting. The fact that, I am the farmer's son, and then Kharge saying, I am the laborer's son. It's one person, the personal life of one versus the other. And then the chairman made it very, very sort of dramatic and emotional by saying, I will die for the country, I will perish. And from the other side, that, you're basically insulting the Congress party, insulting our leaders. So what was happening in the last few days and the entire move against the chairman, which obviously won't take place because the Congress party and the opposition doesn't have the numbers in the Rajya Sabha, and the fact that the 14 days notice is not given, but the turn it took, the personalization, the bringing of emotions, and finally we should meet outside. If you cannot meet me, said Dhankhar ji, I will come and meet you. In fact, I also noticed Dhankhar ji for the first time was smiling where he was speaking. Kamjor nahi padunga, and he was smiling. So the whole thing looked very, very sort of dramatic. Anyway.
Okay. So basically you're saying that it has become very, very personal. Anuma, to you first. Very warm welcome to Mukesh Tyagi also. Do you think that the matter has become personal and for this reason the resolution is not forthcoming in Rajya Sabha? Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, good evening to you, Kartikeya. Good evening to all the panelists. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and several leaders from his party have set a trend of marketing one's struggle or poverty. The Congress, on the other hand, has given opportunity to so many leaders, sons of farmers, Fauji's, armed forces, but never marketed such things. Here, what we see when Dhankhar ji is talking like that, he is an authoritarian individual and he's trying to silence others while portraying himself as a victim. Now it becomes so clear that the sole intention is to divert attention from the real issues and nothing more. Mr. Dhankhar is a professional liar, and he has been. He was in the law profession, and in 1990s he was. He has pleaded a case for Mr. Shah Rukh Khan in 1997 for Mr. Salman Khan.
Madam, I have a request to you. Madam, I have a request for you because you have to listen to me. I don't like my debates getting personal for one simple reason, because he should be held accountable for what he has done in Rajya Sabha. What he did in his profession as a lawyer or in a previous avatar doesn't concern me, because I am talking about his conduct in Rajya Sabha. You are saying that he is trying to portray himself as a victim. Mr. Tyagi, I'll come to you. I'll come to you. You have made your point. You're saying he's not a victim. Mr. Tyagi, the Congress is saying, okay, so the Congress is saying that he's trying to portray, Madam, I'll come to you. Congress is saying that he's trying to portray himself as a victim. To you, sir.
First of all, I would like to convey my condolences, because December 13th is extremely important day when the parliament was attacked. So my condolences to all those soldiers who sacrificed their life defending the temple of democracy. At the outset, I would like to say, you see, the parliament has become completely a wrestling ground for the opposition. They have no constitutional sensibility. They disregard all the institutions of India under the constitution. And in this glorious journey of 75 years of Indian constitution, look at the way they mocked upon Dhankhar ji earlier also outside the parliament, when fairly large number of MPs were suspended because they entered into they tear the past legislation on the face of the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Look at the kind of hooligans. They go out of the parliament and then they talk about the constitutionality. Do they respect constitutional positions? Mr. Dhankhar or no Dhankhar, you have the rules, you have the ways and means to go out. You have a 0-hour session to raise your issues. You have a rule 267. But what they resort to do is, because they've reached to the pinnacle of frustration, losing out consecutively elections in Maharashtra and Haryana, they have run out of all the possible options of attacking Mr. Modi and NDA government, whether it's a Rafale, whether it's any other issue. So they are not resorting on the vice president. I mean, look at the kind of a derogatory statement Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge is making, that you look on the other side of only the position side lies in your heart, government lies in your heart. I mean, what kind of, you are holding a very senior position. Similarly, the leader of opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, I think the conduct is absolutely unconstitutional.
Mr. Tyagi, I'll stop you here. You must be knowing it. Yeah. I'm talking about Rajya Sabha. I don't want to mix Lok Sabha here. I'm talking about specifically Rajya Sabha. And let me tell you some facts. And I think these facts are for my viewers also. Over 35% of the session, scheduled time, that's fact number one. 35% of the session scheduled time has been wasted. Fact number two, 11 bills are pending before Rajya Sabha. Fact number three, each minute of Parliament's functioning cost approximately 2.5 lakhs. This is taxpayers' money. This is everyone's money. So my big question is, one, why is BJP opposed to the discussion on Dhankhar? That's question number one. Question number two is, why is Congress pushing an issue when they don't have the numbers? You know that nothing is going to happen. Should Dhankhar take one more initiative to break the ice? Because he has already made an initiative to Mr. Kharge. I don't know what has happened. So these are the three issues. But let me straight away go to Ajit. Ajit, I have a question. It's a bipartisan issue. Then I'll go to my spokesperson. The bipartisan issue is that, is it because when you have political chairmen or political vice presidents, House behave in a different way? Bhairav Singh Shekhawat and when Venkaiah Naidu were holding the chair, the House functioned in a different way. But when you have non-political chairmen like Mr. Ansari for 10 years when UPA was in power, and Mr. Dhankhar now, the House behaves in a different way. The handling becomes very different. I can say so because, these are examples of my time of reportage of the Parliament. Ajit.
Well, Karthik, you see, one reason is, today, I don't think in the history of India, if I remember, since I've been covering politics, India has ever been so badly polarized. The polarizing along different lines, along NDA versus India alliance, is perhaps at its worst. In fact, I think even when Mr. Modi came, 2014, the first 5 years, if you remember, and if you remember now, the polarizing is intense. And therefore, you barely can listen to a single debate in parliament. And number two, I think Mr. Dhankhar, he's been a lawyer, with all respect to him. He's from Rajasthan. He's had a long inning in politics, governor of West Bengal. But he sometimes doesn't know how to argue with finesse, which is required in the Rajya Sabha. The names that you took, these were people who used to talk with humor. They would bring in a certain sort of decorum to the house. That, I think, is perhaps missing. He kind of gets aggressive at times where he shouldn't. Maybe he can handle it in a much more relaxed
Basically, you are saying
manner.
that Mr. Dhankhar gets aggressive. I have played the bite of the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Let me now play out the bite of Mallikarjun Kharge, the other side.
Mallikarjun Kharge.
Don't be shameless. Let him speak. Don't be shameless. Let him speak. Don't be shameless.
Don't
do what you want. Don't be shameless. Let him speak. Who are you? Let him speak. Let him speak. You should be. Let him speak. Let him.
किसी भी हालत में कमजोर नहीं पड़ूंगा ना, सबकी सुनूंगा, पूरे दिन सुनूंगा, पर कमजोर नहीं पड़ूंगा। देश के विरुद्ध काम नहीं करने दूंगा, किसान के विरुद्ध काम नहीं करने दूंगा।
आप
समझ गया, आप बोल नहीं पाए।
साइड के मेंबर्स
समझ गया, आप
को
बोल नहीं पाए।
एनकरेज कर रहे
नहीं, आप
हैं
नहीं
और
कर रहे।
पार्टियों के खिलाफ बात करने के लिए आप कोशिश कर रहे हैं। आपको अगर इस सदन को चलाना है, नियति से चलाना है, लोकतंत्र को बचाना है, आप ये बात नहीं करते। हर आदमी उठ के, हर मेंबर उठ के 5-5 मिनट, 10-10 मिनट बात करता है। मेरा लेके Where's the camera? Where is the camera? Where is the camera? अरे मैं बोलता हूँ,
ट्विटर का कैसे उपयोग किया,
मेरा नाम लेके,
कुछ तो दिमाग में होगा।
मेरा नाम लेकर बार बार बोल रहे हैं, आप चुप्पी साधे हैं। इसका मतलब you are encouraging them, you are telling them, अरे 5-5 10-10
मुद्दे पर आइए, भटकिए मत।
अरे साहब, आप अगर किसान हैं तो मैं किसान मजदूर का बेटा हूं। मैं खुद तुमसे भी ज्यादा
हमारे लिए छड़ते हैं,
इतना कष्ट
थोड़ा सा दिल कटोलिए।
आपसे भी ज्यादा इज नॉट रेस्पेक्टिंग मी। हाउ कैन आई रेस्पेक्ट यू? यू आर इंसल्टिंग मी।
Madam, my question to you is, why is Congress pressing the matter when you neither have the number in Rajya Sabha, when you nor have the number in Lok Sabha? And House of Elders is an important place which has one privilege over Lok Sabha, which is right of reply, which means anyone can get up and any minister will need to reply, which is not there in Lok Sabha. Why isn't Congress pressing the right to reply in Rajya Sabha?
My question to you is, why the government is not encouraging discussion? Why they are not entertaining the discussion?
You should not ask me a question. You should ask this question to the government of India or Mr. Mukesh Tyagi. I am not spokesperson of government of India, madam.
No, the question is to the BJP spokesperson through you. You are the person who is hosting the debate.
So you don't ask me a question. You don't ask me a question. You can refer to Mukesh Tyagi. You can ask this to Mukesh Tyagi.
Let me tell you something. Why Mr. Dhankhar always exhibits a headmaster syndrome? Frequently he interrupts the opposition leaders, doesn't allow them to finish their statements, and he repeatedly intervenes and says, this will not go on record, that will not go on record. He even has said to Mrs. Jaya Bachchan that actor is subject to director. These comments are unwarranted. Don't you think at his seniority and maturity, these comments are unwarranted? They are not ready to talk or discuss on Sambal, not ready to talk on Manipur. They are not giving us to speak on that American arrest warrant or on Mr. Adani, which has brought such a bad name to our country. And I must tell you, in UPA 14th Lok Sabha, UPA government has discussed at least 64% of the bills, and subsequently in the 15th Lok Sabha, 71% bills were discussed and then they were passed. Here they are not allowing any discussion. This is a very authoritarian way of doing with the things. So my question is not to you. My question is, it goes to the BJP, the government, and the spokesperson of BJP. When he talks about constitution, when he talks about democracy, it looks so odd because they themselves do not allow any democracy in the parliament, in both the houses, the lower houses and in the upper house, both.
Mr. Tyagi, now, the floor is with you.
Champions of anti-democratic forces, of emergency and many other atrocities which Congress committed, or talking about constitution looks like a complete joke. As a matter of fact, they don't have any regard for any constitution. It has been seen. The reason why the parliament is not, it is not because of the BJP, it is because of the opposition's role. You can talk it, Chaukidar Chor hai, they adjourn the parliament. Just before the parliament begins, they will bring out some report which is not their independent investigation, Hindenburg report, Adani matter. Have you been able to establish a conclusive judicial link between Prime Minister Modi and Adani? You want for every matter, whether JPs to be instituted, you think parliament is subjected to some kind of football match? You don't come out with any serious issues. You filibuster the parliament off and on every occasion. You go into the well, you dance on the table in the parliament, and start throwing Rahul Gandhi, who had torn Manmohan Singh past ordinance in public. That kind of constitutional regard you have, and you are giving a sermon on constitutionality. I think if Mr. Dhankhar has got not the Hamid Ansari, Prime Minister Modi had also said about Hamid Ansari. Then you Congress guys complained. Why did Prime Minister make a statement that his heart lies for the Congress, whose propensity to Islamic forces? I mean, your Vice President, who was IFS officer, I mean, he's a lawyer. He understands what is his rules and regulations. I'm not defending Mr. Dhankhar. That is not my case. He's a constitutional authority. He has an autonomy. He can speak. You want him to become mum and just allow your all abusive expressions, your behavior clean sheet that yes, Congress is allowed to dance on the floor and bring the black flags in the parliament, bring 50,000 rupees in parliament. He should not speak. I mean, you guys are creating a chaos, and then you want to talk on constitution. It's a shame on Congress.
Okay. Madam, to you.
See, all I have to say is, I don't approve this language he has spoken, dancing by the Congress and all. This is a thing which he should not be speaking. This itself talks about that they are not ready for any kind of discussion or any of the matters. You remember that Agnipath scheme, which is actually weakening our armed forces, has not been discussed with the armed forces people, because 4 stars of destiny by General Naravne already talks about it, and the book is still banned. So this is what this government is all about. You can't talk about Manipur. You can't bring Manipur in the discussion. You can't bring Sambal in the discussion. You can't bring Mr. Adani into the discussion. Why? These are the issues. You can't even talk about.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
Talk about inflation.
I have a question for you. I'm not taking your time, madam. I'm not taking your time. I have a question for you. Your lot of alliance partners were upset that you were stuck on the Adani issue. They wanted to discuss Sambal, madam. They wanted to discuss other regional issues. Your own alliance partner. You could have made that choice at least in Lok Sabha. Please.
See, the thing is, the BJP spokesperson talked about Rule 267. Did they allow any discussion under that? And why only Mr. Dhankhar is having this problem? Why other chairmen of Rajya Sabha have never faced this problem? This is the kind of confrontation which is a unique thing which is happening in this upper house of the parliament. This has never seen before. Nobody has seen this before. And now I am so surprised when Mr. Hamid Ansari has himself talked about in his book he has written that, I mean, putting any kind of allegations on a person who was holding a constitutional post just because he was posted and he was representing India in the other countries, the Muslim countries. You can just put any blame on him.
Okay.
This is where Prime Minister Modi was also incorrect, and BJP spokesperson is talking about him out of context.
Okay, fair enough. Mr. Tyagi, I have a question for you also. I don't want to quote Mr. Jaitley ad nauseum because I found that as a LOP was pretty impressive when I was a regular in Parliament. But, it's an old saying, it's the job of the opposition to protest, but the responsibility ultimately lies with the government. It's the responsibility of the treasury to actually find a way. I mean, if Mr. Dhankhar has taken a position, then it becomes the job of the parliamentary affairs minister to broker that space. That responsibility is with the treasury.
Kartikeya, Vice President Dhankhar had held a joint meeting with these people. And there is a business advisory committee which takes a matter on agenda. So there was a lot of discussion which is happening. After all, he is a chairman of Rajya Sabha. I mean, we have to give him a constitutional credence to him. Now, the problem is, it is not the matter of Chairman Dhankhar. It's a question of the quality of question, the quality of protest they want to raise. They want to raise a hollow issues without any clinching evidence. Mr. Rahul Gandhi says, I will bring the bomb in the parliament and the entire country will be shaken up. He eventually goes to the Supreme Court and submits an unconditional apology. So this is a repeated behavior of opposition. They have run out of all the issues and they don't have any concrete, nothing they have investigated on their own. They are running on the crutches of the foreign companies. They are rushing on the indictment which the American court has given against Mr. Adani. What have you guys done? You have done nothing. You are running on the crutches of other issues, which are the foreign countries. Mrs. Gandhi used to say, in every matter, there is a foreign hand. There is a foreign hand. You have forgotten your past. Mrs. Gandhi was called by Barua that India is Indra, Indra is India. I mean,
we are so, Mr. Tyagi, I've really fallen short of time. Madam, I've really fallen short of time, but I really feel that, the biggest disservice is to the people of India, It's the real problem is that we have not been able to debate the issues which matter to Aam Aadmi or which really matters to the people who are the taxpayers of this country. And my takeaway at the end of it is, if you ask me, is right or wrong, doesn't matter. House has become dysfunctional. This is disservice to the people of India. It's really the responsibility of the opposition and the government that they must come together and discuss the issues. And on this note, I thank Mr. Mukesh Tyagi, National Spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party, and Wing Commander, retired Anuma